Hello, it's Mountain again with another speed paint. This time I'm drawing Steven, Connie and Lion from Steven Universe because they were some of my favorite characters from Steven Universe. And to be honest, a lot of the characters from Steven Universe are some of my favorite characters. But regardless of that. So if you don't know what Steven Universe is, it's a show created by Rebecca Sugar for Cartoon Network. It had 5 seasons, a movie, and another season after the movie called The Future Episode, Steven Universe Future. It's a kids show about friendship, hardship, and mostly about talking about your feelings. That's what they wanted to do with the show, to have children learn to talk about their feelings and get it out and not keep it in, talk about stuff. And it's about aliens, to sum it up basically. So the story-wise is this child called Steven who's half human, half gem, who we follow on his journey to kind of deal with the after effects of the war his mother created and was a part of. And that's kind of the story from perspective. And most we learn about who the gems are, what they do, how he's involved, and stuff like that. I had never seen Steven Universe before January of this year. Like January 2022, that's when I started watching Steven Universe. And I've always wanted to see this show. I always thought it looked so amazing and the songs sounded so good. But I didn't really, at the time it came out on Cartoon Network, I didn't really watch Cartoon Network anymore because I've grown older and we didn't have the channel anymore anyway. So I didn't see it that much. And I've seen some videos flowing around Facebook from time to time. And particularly, I remember the music videos from the movie, like the parts where they're singing and stuff. Those came out on Facebook and showed up on my newsfeed again and again. And I guess it must have been around 2019, 2020, because I know the movie came out in 2019. So I guess that's because they started coming out with the music to kind of showcase the movie and stuff. So that's when I started really wanting to see Steven Universe, but I didn't have anywhere to see it because again, I didn't have Cartoon Network and I didn't know where else to see it. I really wanted to see it in English, and since I live in Denmark, it would have been shown with Danish subtitles, and I didn't want to see it like that. But 2022, in January, I finally did see it. We figured out, me and my fiance, that it was on HBO Max, which we have. So, lucky for us, we were able to see 5 seasons, a movie, and the future episodes in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we just binge watched all of it, and we sang along to all of the songs, the ones we could sing along to, and otherwise we just tried to sing along. But we finally did it, we finally saw the show, and I fell absolutely in love with the characters. I fell in love with the designs, the backgrounds, everything about it. It just have a really nice aesthetic to look at, especially the backgrounds for me. If I could have that level of being able to do those backgrounds, they look so simple, but they have so many details, and it's so easy to see. It's a cartoon style, obvious, but there's just something about backgrounds. I really like the aesthetic of them. I love the designs of the character. They're pretty easy, and they have these nice looking round shapes to them. That's nice to look at, and it's easy to replicate the designs as well. So it's easy to make your own OCs of the show, and it's easy for someone like me who wants to do fan art of it to try and replicate the style as close as I am able to do to the show's original style. And again, the characters, I just absolutely fell in love with. Of course, the main 4 characters we have are Steven, Pearl, Garnet, and Amethyst. And Steven is a lovely character. He's just a child, and he's a lovely child to follow along. And then you have Pearl, who's more of the protective mother type, who have her baggage. You have Garnet, who's the quiet one, the tall one, and the leader. And then you have Amethyst, who's kind of like the older sister. So you kind of have this little dynamic family with the little brother, the older sister, and kind of 2 mom characters in there. And they just have this great connection together with each other. As said, I found the style pretty easy to copy because it's so simple. And as someone who rather nearly never really draw any humans, because I just dislike a human body. They're not pleasant for me to draw because they have all these bumps and lumps everywhere. I just find an animal much easier to draw than a human. But with this symbol of a style, it's easier for me to go in and identify, oh, that's how they draw arm, that's the legs, that's the head, and the torso, and make shapes out of it. It's easier for me to read the shapes of these characters than to look at a human being and to be able to read those shapes. So it's a little gateway for me to probably begin drawing more humans, hopefully, in the future. I really want to be better and to really get this down with the human thing, but I have not come to that yet. But at some point, I hopefully will. And I wanted to draw something from Steven Universe because I just became so encapsulated in the show. And to be honest, I can't lie, Steven and Connie, I ship it. It's perfect in my eyes. I love that dynamic. I love the friendship. I love how together they make a knight. His shield and her sword together, and as Davinci, they are the knight with the sword and the shield. And I think that's absolutely amazing. And I love how they met. I love how their relationship progresses. And I love how, like, they're not just friends. Of course, they also have arguments, because in any healthy relationship, rather it's a relationship or a friendship, you have to have hardship and communicate with each other to solve the problems that are, become better friends. And I really wanted to have those two together as my first fan art for this show. And of course I want to throw Lion in there because he's just a big part of who they are. And he's just a giant cat, to be honest. And originally I was going to have them writing on Lion in the drawing. I really wanted, if you can imagine, like a drawing of Lion just walking over the fields with Steven lying on his back up along Lion's back and neck, with Connie lying on top of him in the front. I really wanted to have that in the picture, but I tried and I couldn't make it look natural. It looked all crooked and stuff. So I made a lot of more smaller shots to see what I wanted, and eventually ended up with the one I'm doing right now in this video. And to be honest, I had so much fun doing this drawing. Everything went kind of long. You can see somewhere where there's some parts where I struggle a bit, but mostly I just find it was just fun. I had a great time, and it was easy to see the lines, and if it was a little crooked there, I could change it and stuff like that. And it was so relaxing for once to do a drawing and not feel frustrated that something didn't work, because it just worked for me. I think the hardest part about this one was the car. I have never drawn a car before, and they're not that easy as you might think they would be to draw. So I highly referenced the car in the Steven Universe Future episodes, and kind of just made a box after a box and tried to connect the boxes and stuff like that. That was the hardest part of the drawing, the car. But I got the car to be there. And I'm pretty satisfied with it, to be honest, even though I know the wheels are crooked and probably not placed right. But regardless of that, I'm still proud of it. So in this picture in general, I wanted a composition with Steven and Connie in the front and have the car kind of back in the horizon. And I wanted to do this because of how the last episode of Future ends. So if you've seen Steven Universe Future, and if not, spoilers, but if you have, you will remember in the last episode how Steven decides that he's going to take his car and drive around to see the states in the United States, and he's going to do this alone. And at that point, Connie is going to college. I think it was college. Yeah, pretty sure it was college she was going to. So she's going to college, she's taking Lion with her, or at least Lion is going to be around Connie, so that when they do have time, they can meet and be with each other. And Steven is really capable of handling himself. He has a lot of powers, he has his shield, and he's a little defeated, I don't know how many different beings in the age of 14. So I think this will be a small breeze for him to just drive around, see the states. And I think that's a brilliant idea for somebody who just wants to see the world, to be honest, to start kind of where you're located. But that's also why I wanted the car like in the distance, because then you could see that he's probably somewhere in the United States. He's parked, and Connie and Lion probably teleported over there through the little tunnels that Lion can make in the universe in some way. And I don't really have a lot to say about this drawing because, as said, it just came so easy for me to draw. It was really nice and relaxing for me to draw, and I just want to rewatch the show. That's all I'm trying to say. I want to rewatch the show right now. There's not even been a month since I saw the first episode, and I just want to see it all over again. I have an obsession of this show, and there'll definitely be more fan art of this coming in the future. I'll probably do one with Amethyst, Pearl, and Garnet, maybe together, maybe apart from each other in different artworks. I'm not sure yet, but I'll definitely be making more. And I'm like, how can I say I'm obsessed with the show? I want the burger backpack. I want the albums from the different music and the movie. I want the movie. I want, if there's plushies, I would love the plushies. I'm a big plushie collector. That would be absolutely amazing. But other than that, I don't really have that much to say about it. As said, it's a nice drawing. I like it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the show. You should really go check out Steven Universe if you haven't yet. I really like how it looks. But regardless of that, I'm going to end here. And all I have to say is, if you want to see the things I draw, you should really go check out my DeviantArt on Instagram. Every time I finish a drawing, it'll be uploaded to DeviantArt and Instagram before the video comes out. So you can see what the video is going to be about when you see the drawings that's been uploaded there. My DeviantArt is only for finished drawings, and it's also for my comic A Dragon's Journey. You should really go check that out. That's on my DeviantArt. Instagram will also have finished illustrations, but mostly also it will have work in progress sketches and stuff like that. And I'll also make stories when videos are uploaded, when a new page comes to A Dragon's Journey and stuff like that. So Instagram is really where most of my activity is. And regardless from that, that's where you get finished illustration before the video comes out. So if you want to see those before the video, you can head over to those, and there's links to those down below. And I think that's it for this time. I'll see you again in about 2 weeks with another video. And that's all from Mountain. Bye!